Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Thursday, November 17th, 2022. And tonight I'll be covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all the episodes of the show, along with links to social media and other ways to contact me, at the podcast page. That is salcido.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And this is the last show for a couple of days here for the week, technically. Start back up on Sunday. So just a little bit of a notice here in December, starting, let's see here, with not the 1st, but the it'll be the 7th. Really the week of that whole week. I'm gonna start doing just one show a week, just through December. I'll go through the normal schedule up through the 1st of December. But after that, there'll just be shows on every Wednesday of the month. And I'll mix those up, and we'll still do those. Some might be more book reviews, but then there might be a news or a true paranormal stories from the web episode in there. Just because I have other things I'm working on, and plus, of course, the holidays start happening in December, especially the latter half of the month. And so I want to give myself some time to work on these other projects and enjoy the holidays with time with family and everything. So just so you all know, if you see that I don't stream as much in December, that is why. So, but that's a little ways away. And I think that covers everything for now. So I can get to these stories here. Of course, all these stories are in the stream chat text channel here, and I will include the links to them in the episode descriptions on the podcast and YouTube feeds. And I definitely recommend reading them in full because I only summarize them and just hit on the points that are most interesting to me. So I think that takes care of everything. Dinner theater. Wow. That's a lot of pressure, APOC. Someone's dinner theater. I don't know. But anyway, so let's get to these stories here. These first two are from WATE.com. So this first one is, the title is Ghost Framed for Murder Haunts the Drummond Bridge in Coal Creek. And this is in Tennessee, Briceville, apparently. And I don't really need to get into the exact details of this. But the thing is here, I always wonder about these bridges. There always seem to be stories about bridges and hauntings there. I will just kind of summarize this here. So there's this bridge apparently goes back, or the story goes back to something called the Coal Creek War in the 1890s. And it was it involved local miners that basically fought against this practice that I had never heard of before called convict leasing. And so the miners thought that the let me see here, the work should be protected. Let's see here, the work or workers. Anyway, the basically they were against the state using uh, the employers using state prisoners, excuse me, for free or cheap labor. Excuse me. And so that was why this whole thing happened. It says that, according to this one historian, the last name is Thacker, I think. Um, this practice had been a major part of the state's revenue. So it says when the miners tried to disrupt that, um, there was problems because of this disruption in this income. And and one of those workers, those miners that was protesting, was um, named Richard Drummond, who is apparently the one that the bridge was named after. And he was apparently says he was the most handsome individual around. Um, so and the says the local girls were in favor of Drummond here. That's apparently come back to the haunting later. But this one night, Drummond was at a local dance with a date apparently, and but once they got there, there was a fight over a girl there between Drummond and a soldier apparently, and after that, there was another soldier that was found dead, and apparently that's where the framing comes in. The other soldiers there assumed that he was the one responsible for the shooting, and so they took him to that bridge that is named after him, supposedly, according to this article here, and then apparently the next morning he was let's see here, I lost my spot. So he was found the next morning. I'm guessing basically deceased, hung basically, and there were apparently the notches that were used to make the or arrange the hanging are still on the bridge. And then of course the story is that Drummond is still said to be there as well. And there are two ideas as to why he is there, and that's of course either revenge on the soldiers that framed him, and or looking for basically his date and or other dates that from the past, the woman from the past that he knew. But apparently this area there's activity. So let's see here. It says that that some people have, and I don't get this, but people do it apparently. There are people that will approach the bridge wearing uniforms similar to what they wore at the time, and he won't kill anyone. It says, which is good, but apparently he will frighten them severely. So this is just a apparently a legend here that is used to explain paranormal activity that they don't really get into a lot, but hardly at all. But I'm guessing it must be a fair amount for this to be covered in this article. So just I always wonder about these bridges. It seems like every bridge that is out there could have a story about why it could be haunted, and just the fact that it's said to be haunted to begin with is really I think it's really good to look into that and study that, because of course they're by water, they're over water usually, or at least they were at one point. So there's the whole idea of running water creating energy. So so that's the first article I found, and I'll move on to the next article here. Again, this is also from the same website. wate.com. And this is in a different town. This one says paranormal activity uh, after death. Let me see here. Did I have that right? Paranormal activity after death of Clinton furniture store owner. So this is in Clinton, Tennessee. Um, and this is about a furniture store and where apparently it's been such that kind of place for, and it's been a furniture store and apartment complex for over 50 years. So, and of course, with furniture, especially if you're dealing with antiques, it's said that there can be a lot of energy attached to those items. People have reported uh, feeling like they were touched, um, feeling chills. Let me see here. And let's see here. So this is according to, I missed the reason or the person that they're talking about here. I don't see who this person is, but they're talking about this. Their last name is K. I'm guessing maybe she just went there to check out everything. So she said that she was in the store and she heard someone running up the stairs. Apparently, it's multi-level, and she expected someone to be coming through, and she moved to the side to let them by, but no one showed up. So that is odd. That's not something that can easily be explained away. So let's see here, looking into this. So yeah, just more stories here of paranormal places. Apparently, the former owner of the place passed away in his upstairs apartment 35 years ago, and she says that she thinks that once his body was removed, he actually never left, and it's the activity has happened mostly since then. But let me see here. Oh, so even before this former owner passed, there was activity there. So it might not just be him, even though so you never know for sure what's going on. But it says here that furniture was moving around on its own. Footsteps were heard everywhere, even when there was no one in the rest of the building, apparently. So even there was even some cases where all the first I don't know for sure if it was the first. The last owner would come down into the furniture store, and all the lights would be on, and with all the alarms going off, and there would be items smashed and broken everywhere, but there was no sign of a break-in or anyone going in. So, and apparently there's even reports of windows that will open on their own, and so yeah, just really amazing here. I wonder what it is about these places. There's even, of course, in a furniture and antique stores. There was this one doll that so basically they're just saying that there was some creepy dolls in there as well. So who knows what that has anything to do with it? But yeah, so really neat article here about possibly haunted place, and apparently it's being remodeled and will be sold. So they'll be neat to see what happens thereafter if there's still activity there. So yeah, in case everyone hasn't noticed tonight, a lot of these are about places that are said to be haunted because that's what I found this time. So that's what we have here. So this next article is from WLOS.com. And this title of this article says Quirky or Ghostly Tales from a Historic Building Filled with Paranormal Activity and More. And this takes place apparently in Henderson, North Carolina. And this is the Skyland Hotel in Hendersonville. Excuse me. So, let's see here. This hotel opened back in 1929. Was originally built to just for add social activities and presence here in this area. And a lot of people stayed there, including a lot of vacationers and also artists. And that makes you wonder again, where do these ideas come from that people have when they make things? When people are in that kind of mode of making things, do they give off energy that can then be maybe be used or collected in a place and then lead to things happening? So, says the building is a historical landmark now, and there are people that actually still live there. Some of the units there have been turned into condos, so it's actually a combined hotel and then permanent living quarters kind of place there. And so when there's been other businesses there, and there still are. So, but apparently there's lots of reports of activity. Okay, so this says that at one point there was a restaurant on the first floor, and apparently there was someone there that liked to play around a little bit with by locking this owner of this restaurant, last name of Green, in the basement, which is not very nice, but also as long as it doesn't get harmed. But still, funny thing about locking doors unlocking and locking, I still have that here once in a while. Every once in a while, my apartment, my front door will be, I'll have it one way, let's say locked, and then I'll be here the entire time, and I'll go check on it, and it'll be unlocked. Or sometimes it'll be the opposite. I'll have it unlocked because I'm waiting for someone to come over that I know, and then they'll get here, and I'll say come in, and then they'll say I can't because the door is locked. So that's that is something that can happen. I can confirm that. So other reports are talk about the third floor being extremely active. There's also pictures in this article here about of these places, of this place. Let's see here. So there is let's see here. It kind of skips over. Okay, so in the third floor, apparently, a lot of dogs that are there that show up there with their owners, they don't like to be on the third floor. So now it doesn't necessarily, I don't think, mean it has to be evil. I just think if it's strong enough energy, then maybe they wouldn't want to deal with that, no matter what it is. So, and then there's the sixth floor. It says that that is there. People have experiences with an older gentleman there. They don't say if they saw him, but apparently, I'm guessing maybe he would. The people would because at one point, this one of the people that had experiences here said that their wife was there for a while alone while he was in another country, and this apparition or this presence would stop in and check on the wife, knock on the door, and make sure everything was okay. I'm wondering if that means there was actually a conversation there. That's amazing if that's what's happening. Another person that stays there, or that has a business there, a barbershop there, last name is Lida. Lyda. And he has this place on the ground floor, this barber shop, and apparently he feels like there's someone there keeping watch over the place, even while he's there. Um, and that's just the feeling he gets from the place. So that's really amazing because it's a presence, sounds like, but it's not a negative one, so that's good. So neat article there with pictures and everything, and definitely recommend checking it out. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see here. One moment. My nose is bothering me. I have to take care of that real quick. Okay. Um, so this next one is from KGNS.TV, and another story about a place that's said to be haunted. This one says paranormal team investigates KGNS building. So this sounds like the station, the TV station building. And I wonder, because if you think about that, radio station or TV station buildings, there's a lot of electronics that have to be in a place like that. This was apparently in Laredo, Texas, and but I just thought of that now. You have all kinds of recording and or transmitting devices throughout the history of the station being there, I guess. Um, of course, the technology will change over time, but it's still there and it's still running on electricity. So, but anyway, this of course this comes from around Halloween time, and this station invited a group of paranormal investigators um, to check out the place, and one of the reporters here, last name is Kano, went with them, and so this place has let's see here. They invited, there's this group of investigators that work in the area that have been invited to this building, and so this group, I think it's called Torres Paranormal Investigations. Yeah, investigators. Sorry. Um, they already do check out homes that have reports of paranormal activity, and apparently this building here, this TV station has been around for 20 years. So the apparently they use these cameras that record different kinds of energy that on the screen makes it look like stick figures when they pick up anything. And of course there are people. So this camera was used on this investigation, but as soon as the group walked into the building, they heard voices of people talking, and then they caught footage of these stick figures. So they're really just apparitions that are seen via these cameras, and then voices heard. And I just wonder, again, all about all the energy that goes through a place like that. I wonder how much more it is than just a regular building. I don't know for sure. I don't know the details on that. So, but so it sounds like there was some activity there. Reports of these figures being seen on these cameras, special cameras, and then hearing voices in the location. So, neat little article there, and has a couple of pictures. And see here. Oh no, you know what? Never mind. That's not really of the building. but still, I'm sure you could look into it more. Um, so yeah, neat article there. I'm starting to like checking out these articles that talk about um, these paranormal investigation groups that go to these places, because sometimes you can hear about some of what they found, and and then you never know when they'll find something that is just absolutely mind blowing, and then you hear about that. So that will continue. I'll definitely keep doing that whenever I find them. And so I have one more article here. May seem like a bit of a tangent in a way, given the source and the title here, but I'll explain why I wonder about this here, and I'll go from there. This is from cnet.com, which is a pretty well-known technology and or I think science in some cases reporting website. This says spectacular telescope image shows ghostly aftermath of giant star's death. So, in this one there are images, and this is basically um, this image of the remains, let's say, of a giant star that exploded and sending out energy in all directions, I'm guessing, in some matter. And I just wonder about this because people have reported for a while now, seeing videos online of objects, basically UFOs, going in and out of suns, out of stars. And so there's that whole aspect of it. And I just wonder too if there is something to if there are other dimensions out there or levels of reality where, let's say, ghosts or other non-physical entities exist. Why wouldn't they also exist all throughout space? And so it makes me wonder about the star, and also about when these stars explode. Is that what does that mean for possibly a portal that used to be in that star? Of course, the more far out there idea is or possibility is that any beings that use these stars to get around might decide that this portal here is no longer needed or useful. Or it could just be they take advantage of whatever weird energy or whatever process it is that makes them, in some cases, appear to be portals. Again, this is all kind of just speculation here, but I really wonder how long it'll be before someday we start seeing, let's just say, ghost-like apparitions of things moving around out in space that don't appear to be solid but still appear to be there. So basically, how long it'll be before the paranormal we start detecting strange things out there in space that beyond just regular kind of astrological events and things happening. And so yeah, I didn't really, I don't need to I'm not really going to go into the details of this article because it's a lot of kind of scientific stuff, but still interesting to consider the possibilities um, of what these could be and what could happen when these kinds of things, if they really are some kind of portal, what happens when one of them um, is ends up destroying itself or being destroyed. So that's all I have for today, and I'll be back on Sunday with true paranormal stories from the web. And I should be doing a show next Thursday, but we'll just keep an eye on this server, this Discord server, just in case. I do have a family gathering that day, but I don't think it'll go that late. But we'll just say let's say don't be surprised if there's not a show on Thanksgiving, the American U.S. Thanksgiving night. But I'm going to try if I can arrange it. I still want to do a show. Also, on the last Saturday of this month, there will be a special show. Um, and I'm going to have a friend joining me again to talk about um, the Grim Reaper throughout history and in terms of mythology and folklore, and then also possible sightings that people have had over the years. So, and that will be the last Saturday of this month. That is, let me see here. Let me check on this again. The 26th, I believe. And that will be very fun, I think. Also, it'll be great because we get to welcome Jen back on the show again for that one. So, really looking forward to that. Been doing the research for that already. Still have more to do. And yeah, so that should be fun too. So, thank you all again for listening, and I will talk to you all on Sunday on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.